Hi guys, it's Mandy from MandyleePlays, and in this video I'm going to address a tweet I made recently that's been receiving a lot of discussion back and forth, which is good. Discussion is always good. So I'm just going to cut to the chase with this video. So I made a tweet and it said, honestly, I think a Switch Mini is a step backwards. I think a more powerful Switch should be a priority, and that's the tweet I made, and a lot of people do agree with me, but a lot of people disagree, and that's kind of what I want to touch on in this video. So I got a lot of discussions about kind of how financially better it would be to get a Switch Mini first instead of a Switch Pro, which I agree, a Switch Mini would probably be cheaper, but there's so much sacrifices to the already weak Switch that I don't really think that Nintendo should be even thinking about a mini version. Now, my thing is they should have done a Pro Edition first and the base Switch be kind of the mini alternative. It won't exactly be a mini version like with the Joy-Cons stuck on them or anything, but it would be somewhat cheaper and it would have at least some power where the games don't look wonky and just not right. And I also know that smaller doesn't mean necessarily less powerful, but the Switch Mini, people are saying that it's going to be less powerful and it's not going to have the functions of the original Switch, which, yeah, duh, it's gonna be cheaper, there's gonna have to be sacrifices. And that's where I'm like, they couldn't wait for a Pro to come out, because, okay, they did this with the 3DS. They had the original 3DS, and they had the 3DS new version, which is powerful than the original 3DS, and they're about the same size. And same with the 2DS or the new 2DS. That one's actually kind of smaller. So a smaller console does not automatically mean it's less powerful, but given from what the news we've been receiving about it, I think it's going to sacrifice a lot for a price point that is basically not going to be as big as people think. Now, the base Switch I bought for $300, $299, and with tax and all that, it was $300. So that's pretty expensive for the Switch I bought, and I get why a lot of people think it's expensive, because it is. But my thing is, you are sacrificing so much from what the Switch is meant to be and the graphics and everything else. It isn't really worth it to buy another mini Switch or a mini Switch, because you're not gonna get the best gameplay off of your game. So it kind of puts into question, what are your priorities? For me, the Switch is really tiny and I could carry it around just fine. It's a portable console and it's pretty, versatile, and it could fit in a lot of places. So I always question when people say, oh, the mini I could take anywhere and everywhere. I'm like, well, you could do that with the Switch. You just need a Switch case, that's it. But other people are like, but I want the minier version. And I'm just like, well, you shouldn't have been hating on the 3DS when it was on the way out. That's the thing that's most confusing. Everybody wants a mini, but the mini is basically a 3DS, which people have been hating on for quite a while. But it's like, y'all don't make any sense. The Switch is already portable. I don't understand why you need a more smaller Switch. The screen is already small. The Joy-Cons are tiny as heck. The Switch is not that big at all. And I've taken it many places. I put it in my purse. And if the Switch Mini is going to be less powerful, why would you want a smaller Switch when you could just take yours on the go and it's a little bit bigger? I just don't understand that. For example, I love my Switch, but I know it needs more power because the games, while the games on it do run really good, some don't, and it needs a proper upgrade, not a downgrade. So I just don't understand. But a lot of people are saying, oh, it's gonna be cheaper, and some people say I'd rather more people experience, let's say, Breath of the Wild because they could afford a Switch now instead of not playing it, which, yeah, I could agree, but we all know how Xenoblade Chronicles runs on the 3DS. It's bad, and that's why I feel like most games are going to be reduced to on the Switch Mini. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is already chugging on the Switch. I don't think it would run great on the Switch Mini. Yeah, more people get to experience, but do you really want them to experience that version of a game? I know for a fact they did that with the 3DS. They started to make games that are also for the Wii U and the 3DS, and the 3DS versions are horrible. And not to jab on graphics because I'm not big on graphics, but man, it was ugly. And I feel like that's going to be what the Switch Mini is going to provide, and I don't think a cheaper price point would kind of justify that. And I know it's like a business strategy or whatnot. A lot of you are coming at me thinking you know stuff. I don't know. You don't know. We can all agree on that, but it's all speculation at this point. The whole thing with the Switch, it's already factually underpowered. That's just like the topic I want to bring home. I don't get why people want a more underpowered console. I wouldn't buy it. I would just save up for the actual console because I know the games are not even gonna work the way they're supposed to work. And okay, they want to save money, but at what cost? And I'm not a rich person. I can't go to a store and buy Switches. So I'm not coming at this from a snobbish perspective because I don't make money like that. In the end, it's going to be like the worst thing because now we have a miniature version, a regular version, and then we're gonna have to make games to suit both. And at the end of the day, it's still underpowered. There's still stuff missing, and nobody wins in that scenario except for the somebody who wants to take an extra $50 off a Switch, which in my case, just buy the regular Switch. Why? Anyways, that's just my rant. I don't understand people sometimes, but we all disagree, and I don't really mind discussions. Yeah, I get kind of heated, but who doesn't? I don't really take it personally or anything, so don't worry about that. And just leave in the comments below what you think, because I think this is going to be a bad thing, but that's just my opinion.